Good morning, good morning, good morning. This video may not come out in the morning, but good morning. Today I want to talk about semen retention, masculine retention. Because if you are doing the things that you need to do to retain your semen, you're also retaining your masculinity. The first step, I think, to you being a more masculine version of yourself is number one, to stop jerking off. And I say that because before you can do anything else, and like we talk about with maybe that we read from with masculinity books, the first steps to being a masculine male, the first thing you have to do is just stop jerking off, because that's going to give you the boost to do everything else. It's like running a race. If you practice the day before the race, and you practice at 110%, and then the next day is the big race, when you run that race, you're going to be burnt out because you're not retaining your energy and setting yourself up to be successful. And that's the same thing when you're jerking off. It's like if you jerk off in the morning every day to start your day, you already didn't got off to a bad start. You just jumped out in the day with no confidence to possibly approach some woman that you may run across. You starting off the day already complacent. You just relaxed yourself, jerked off, and now you're chilling. So semen retention is gonna give you that boost. It's gonna give you that energy to be that masculine version of yourself. Now, we live in a world where everywhere you turn, it's always something that's trying to suck away at your masculinity. And we talk about the porn, we talk about the girls, with the leggings and all that. And it forces us to be distracted, to possibly turn us into a simp and not be that masculine version of ourselves. And when we focus on these things, and that's TV shows, I was just watching a Netflix movie, and I noticed that a lot of, I'm not trying to get on Netflix or nothing, but I just noticed that there was a lot of like female lead roles as far as, in these TV shows. And that's just not natural. Like, everybody knows that men are the head of the household. We know that men are the real leaders. When things go wrong, we know that men are going to have to fight the fight, and everybody, the women and the kids, are going to run under the table. And that's just a part of this world trying to suck away at our masculinity and change the way we see things. And when you put your masculinity on the back seat, like these agendas and these social programming and this porn and all this stuff, and maybe you get into a relationship with a woman and she wants to take control of the relationship, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a bad relationship. When you put your masculinity on the back seat, it throws things out of balance. It throws things out of proportion, and it just leads to things not being successful. So it's important that when you're on the semen retention you are cultivating your masculinity to make yourself more confident, to put yourself first, to make yourself more productive, and to go out and chase your dreams and be that more masculine version of yourself. Another thing about being masculine and being on the semen retention is pushing you to be more ambitious. Just being on the semen retention, you automatically challenging yourself. You're automatically chasing your goals to be whatever that you want to be, to go out and be what you want to be. And when you're not on the semen retention, when you're just jerking off, it's just making you more complacent, and it's making you not competitive. Okay, I'm back. So I was talking about ambition. Men in this world, we don't have no choice but to compete. Anything that you want to be in this world, you have to compete. Even if you're trying to get a girl, you have to compete with other guys, because you're not the only dude especially if she's a pretty chick, you're not the only guy that's got your eye on this girl. Whatever dreams that you want, like, we have to compete. Like, we're forced with the with the burden of performance, because we have to have resources, we have to have money, we have to have things to make ourselves, more attractive. We have to, we just have to be providers and protectors in this world, and we have to get up every day and maybe go to work on time, or get up every day and maybe you play sports, you got to get up and do sprints and do push-ups. It's just part of being a man and being ambitious. It's very feminine. It's very feminine for a man to not be ambitious. It's always a goal that you have to be chasing. Nobody respects a man that's not chasing goals. Like, we don't get that privilege to just be chilling on the couch most of the time. Even, at a certain point, your parents get tired of you. At a certain point, your mom will get tired of you. Your dad sure not having it. So we have to be ambitious. Retaining your semen is going to help give you that boost to stay productive and not be complacent. Whatever you want, we just have to get to the finish line and be whatever we want. That's the way we stay out of trouble with people. That's the way we stay respected as men. That's the way that we become leaders. It's being ambitious and getting out here and competing. Being emotional. Emotional men are not safe men to be around. Emotional men, we don't get along with emotional men. They start fights. They make bad decisions in their life. They end up in jail because we are gifted with being the strongest gender. So we have to be very wise with the way we manage ourselves, the way we deal with each other. I know a guy in particular that's very emotional, and he has all the physical characteristics of somebody that's not masculine. This guy, very emotional. He eats the wrong foods, just eat like a lot of sugar. I saw him take his shirt off one day, no homo, but he had like boobs. He had like titties, no muscle mass. Just had the overall build of a woman, and he criticized me because I go to the gym all the time, and I'm like, dude, you sit on the couch all the time. You built like a woman, and you're not even aware of the things that you need to be doing to be a better man. And I'm not trying to tear nobody down. It's just some things that I noticed about this particular person, and it was just a clear example of why men shouldn't be emotional. We shouldn't be eating the wrong foods. We call guys who act like women. We call guys who are very emotional, who are white knights. So what we, just always jumping on women's side. We call them soy boys, and it is literal because we know soy products. It contains estrogen. It lowers our sperm count. It goes against our testosterone. So it's also important that we are eating the right foods that's helping us maintain our masculinity. Approaching women, which I talked about earlier, but it's masculine to actually go out and approach women instead of, when you jerking off, you losing your confidence, you losing your self-esteem, and it's easier to just see a girl with a big butt and just imagine having sex with her instead of, or imagine, just flipping on some porn or something and just jerking off. So you never try again. So each year you are unsuccessful. I don't know if you're an incel or you're a virgin, but being more masculine and retaining your semen can help you break out of physical activity. So the more the world advances, like, I'm in a parking lot, business buildings everywhere and things like that. And technology advances, social media. These things make us lazier. We don't have to go out and walk to the store anymore to get food. We could just call Uber Eats. We don't have to go get things. We got Amazon to deliver it to us. I'm thankful that I'm in my 30s. I grew up And I got a chance to play outside and play basketball and get into fights and things like that. A lot of kids nowadays, a lot of boys nowadays don't even really go outside. You know, they play 2K at the park and 2K online. Like, we actually walk to the park and play real basketball. So because society is always advances, and the more we don't have to move on that, we don't have to get off our couch. Us as men, we have to be staying physical and possibly lifting weights or doing push-ups and getting out and running, because we still have this testosterone running through our veins, this masculine energy running through our veins. Especially if you're on the semen retention, you still have those hormones, kicking against you and things like that. So you have to get out and release that energy in something physical and something productive. So that's part of being masculine, and cultivating your masculinity. But I hope I wasn't all over the place today. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm a growing YouTuber. Sometimes I don't get my thoughts out the best way, but I'm growing. The more I do these videos, the more I'll communicate better. But thanks for watching. Thanks for the people that already subscribed. And just hit me up in the comment section and tell me what you think about the video. Peace.